In 2023, I stood on stage in Yokohama, Japan, joining the ranks of a select few able to climb to the very top. I became a world champion for the biggest IP on the planet. If you thought that kind of achievement would help me for my very first attempt at a Nuzlocke, you couldn't be more wrong. Even though I'm a Pokemon champion, it's for the MOBA variant of the game, Pokemon Unite. Still, I've played some main series games. I've seen Peach House Emerald Kaizo run. I'm literally watching Drew attempt the Drayano Gauntlet right now. I knew enough about Nuzlocking, so I decided I was going to do a run of Pokemon Black completely blind. That meant I didn't know what Pokemon my enemies are using, nor even where the battles were going to take place. It was my first playthrough after all. That wouldn't be hard enough, no. I'd ban healing items even though the enemies would use them. I'd ban setup moves because that would make the game too easy. I'd even count gift Pokemon as my encounter for that area, and of course, my levels, they had to be capped. I selected Snivy as my starter and I wiped? Wait, how is that possible? Everything was smooth. I destroyed the first gym. Unfortunately, in doing that, there was a shift. Something insidious started to surround me. I was enveloped in complacency and arrogance. My complete confidence in my skills opened the doors to the second gym, woefully unprepared for the trials that lay ahead. There is no excuse for being underleveled when I'm at a gym leader, yet everyone here is a level down. None of my Pokemon even have an item equipped. At the very least, I could give them an Oran Berry. That naivety left me as vulnerable as a sitting ducklet, and Lenora used that opportunity to her advantage. Through luck, I made it out alive. Now, I'd take the challenge seriously, but it's a little too late. I'd quickly find out that the damage was already done. Berg, a bug specialist gym leader, the perfect matchup for the two Pokemon I just lost. It would have been a clean sweep. Instead, I arrived to a Valentine's Day massacre. As the fight progressed, my Pokemon were getting whittled down. With my back against the wall, I decided it's time to start playing for outs. That means
sacrifices.
I sacked Baiju the Sandile to give my Herdier one last Intimidate, also I could utilize my only out, a Temple against a Lavani. Razor Leaf has a higher than normal critical chance, meaning the odds are even more stacked against me. It missed! I left the bug gym sticky and battered. Not my first rough night, but with 75% of my roster dead, only Camellia and Sukaku lived to tell the tale. New routes opened up, and they'd allow me to replenish my ranks. I scouted around to find some Pokemon, and as I did that, I ran into N. Innocently, I followed him to the Ferris wheel. I thought this would be a cordial invitation, but N had other intentions. He reveals his ties to Team Plasma, my heart racing. With only two Pokemon, I can easily wipe here. I have no choice but to give it my best. Camellia is popping off, nearly saving the run on his own. But as a Darumaka comes out, I'm forced to swap into a Palpitoad, who tanks half his HP to a resisted Fire Punch. What is this little run packing? Still, things are going well, and that's when he arrives. The situation is grim, but we've been here just moments ago. A 5% chance to dodge his main move. Camellia just needs to clutch up. My first Nuzlocke was over. I failed. People react to failure in many ways. Some people are able to brush it off, but in my case, I get very emotional. But the emotions I was feeling right now had nothing to do with sadness, no. What I felt right now was something else entirely. Anger. Anger at myself for underestimating just how hard a Nuzlocke truly is. Anger at myself for recklessly charging into every single fight. For not giving it my all since moment one. Failure was the exact wake-up call I needed. My complacency showed from minute one of this run, and by the time I noticed, the damage was already done. This time, I'd approach it with the same exact energy that made me a world champion. I'd leave it all on the line. I wanted revenge. My name will be Revenge, because that's what I will get. I spelled revenge wrong. With the fire blazing in my soul, Porky the Tepig was the natural choice. It mowed through Bianca Snivy and blazed past Sharon's Oshawott. The Spirit of Lycon came back for a first encounter, and with how great he was in the first attempt, I knew his descendant Scooby would do us wonders yet again. We made our way to Accumula Town, and that's where I saw him. His stupid green hair hiding behind that black cap, mocking me in the crowd. But this time, I'd make a mockery of him. Porky was underleveled, but he still managed to get the 1v1 dub over Purloin. Going into the next encounter, I think Porky was still kind of feeling himself. Dude, I forgot where the battle. Let's have a Pokemon battle. No. No, 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 no. I did not heal. I did not heal. I did not heal. I did not heal. Oh, and I'm full HP. Oh, it's so chill. It's so chill. It's so chill. It's a good thing Porky alone was enough to sweep through Bianca's whole team. Since Tepig is our starter, we get Pan Stage this time. Welcome to the squad, Diddy Kong. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing. I need you to die. Alright, I'm faster. Okay. It's good. Oh my god, I got so scared. I got highlights or flashbacks. I got flashbacks the last time. The very first gym, and I'm already getting flashbacks to the last run. But through staying calm and collected, I team up with Diddy to collect the first badge. I'm taking no chances this time around, so I evoed both Porky and Scooby, and I used them to bully some toddlers. Hey, after what happened last run, I needed the confidence boost somehow. Sharon caught me in the act and tried to play hero. That didn't work out too well for him. Sorry, Sharon, you'll always be the failure you think you are. Team Plasma blitzed past us, and Bianca tells us they're also bullying toddlers, so Sharon runs off to go and stop them. I figure that Sharon dealt with me so well that I can let him take care of it, so I take a brief pause to get my encounter. Welcome, Bugs Bunny! I murdered so many of you in Unite. As for the Team Plasma situation, of course Sharon didn't handle it, so it's up to me. I popped a repel to delay the encounter, used my power for good this time, and got the little kid her Pokemon back. Ooh, a Drober. I'll call you Rufus. Nacrene City. It's where everything started to go wrong. As I walk through, the memories of the previous run still haunt me. Losing Zhongli and Yixuan, my Rug and Rolla and my Pidove to careless mistakes snowballed the run. With better companions this time, it should be easier. I just need to limit my cockiness. Now that we have a full roster, it's time to battle the second Oh, N is here. Step aside, little bro. I'll come gap you later. Going into Lenora, I made sure this time everyone was fully leveled and equipped with items. I lead with Scooby, who both procs and soaks up and Intimidate. Diddy Kong comes in, but Takedown gets him in range of a crit, forcing Bugs to prove his worth. Lenora's Watchhog. The ace that ravaged my team is back, but this time I have a better strategy. Scooby switches into Intimidate, giving me a safer switch into Porky, who doesn't have a Chesto Berry equipped. Avoided the attack. Okay. Ooh! Wait, Pig Knight popped off though. Jesus Christ, what were those arm thrusts? This time, Lenora went deathless, but it wasn't thanks to my cunning nor planning. I got lucky, a reality that will never escape my mind. If this is my level of gameplay, I wouldn't be able to get my revenge. I still need to level up. Team Plasma is stealing some giant dog's head on the way out of the gym, so I thwart their plans on the way to see... Wait, this guy. You're up next, buddy. You scared, little bro. Where's your protect? Ooh, critical hit. Dweeble. Wait, Dweeble's kind of demonic for me. Hit? Alright, perfect. Alright, last up, Levani. Ow! Dude, how does a crit do 40 HP? Not very effective, by the way. Berg was bested. My sight's now set on N. But I'm getting too far ahead of myself, and Bianca was having none of it. That was a crit? It crit again. Wow. Dude, if I get crit again, it's actually over? Oh, thank God. Sharon, on the other hand, was a complete pushover. This guy's scary. Or just spin. What? Motherfucker, bro. There has to be a consistent way to do this. Some things never change. I wanted an extra encounter before engaging with N, but Bianca had other plans. Frankly, it's a good call. All work and no play makes ImRhinne not subscribe worthy. Did we give him a bow tie? And a cane? Can I move this? And a hat. Look at that, he's so happy. Bianca is sorting out her daddy issues right in front of my eyes, and that reminds me, I need to do the same. I pick up Perry, the Sandile, in Relic Castle, and Mordecai, the Sigilif in Desert Resort, saving the Route 4 encounter for later if we need it. The hour of my revenge has arrived. Just like before, N leads me into the Ferris wheel, but this time, I have the upper hand. Porky leads us off, getting an easy kill in Sandile. N sends out to Sigilif and I match. Another KO. Scraggy's next, but with Diddy outspeeding and having access to Seed Bomb, only the little runt remains. Orchid comes in, eating a Fire Punch, and like clockwork, N crits me again. Scooby comes in, taking a headbutt easily, but now he's in crit range of a Fire Punch connects. Where he once laid my Pokemon a grave, I have risen from the ashes to avenge them. That's what they call revenge, baby. Darumaka is so scary, bro. That guy's a... Dude, wait, why does N look so evil here? I didn't see this before. If you want to be together with Pokemon, your only hope is to collect the badges from each area and head for the Pokemon League. Try and stop me there, if you dare. Why is this guy so evil? If your conviction is not strong enough, you will never defeat me. I didn't think this guy was that evil. My thoughts on N, from seeing him, from like what other people say and stuff about him, or like how much other people like him, I always thought he was like an uwu teddy bear. This guy looks creepy as fuck. But in the process, N revealed his true intentions. He wants the bond between people and Pokemon severed. As he challenges me to stop him at the Pokemon League, I immediately accept. It didn't matter where he was going. It didn't matter where he went. All I wanted was to put him in the dirt. To get to the Pokemon League, I need to prove my worth. With 5 badges remaining, Alessa was first on the chopping block. This might be troll, but I'm going to do this. What? What the hell is Quick Attack? Wait, what? Is this AI stupid? It has Flame Charge that whole time and it uses Quick Attack when it outspeeds me. Exceed Bomb. I outspeed? Well, I guess Diddy popped off. We survived Alessa deathless. The celebration is quick as there's not much time to rest. N's challenge still calls to me. Along the way, the walking inferiority complex challenges me yet again. And I just want to say, dude, Bianca just sorted out her issues, why do you have to take yours out on me? After the confrontation, Alessa brings us to him, Alder, the Unova region champion. Like a true mentor, he has his question or goals and ambitions. Is becoming stronger truly enough of a goal? Should we be aiming to do more? What is the meaning of this so-called revenge? Alder himself is the champion, yet he's out here enjoying festivities instead of honing his craft. Or maybe this is part of honing his craft too. Maybe the pursuit of strength isn't achieved through battle alone. Or maybe chasing strength isn't enough of a goal to lead a meaningful life. Maybe that's the case for him, but I walk a different path. Until I put a stop to N's plans, my revenge isn't complete. Cold Storage nets as Jerry the Rat, which I thought would be a dead encounter, but ended up putting in quite a bit of work later. The Route 6 encounter is the sus Pokemon. I know you'll pop off Plankton. I also took the time to backtrack to Relic Castle, picking up the fossil Pokemon. We went back to the museum and resurrected Roadrunner the Archon. He's a bit risky due to Defeatist, but how can they proc Defeatist if they're just dead? Also, there was a duck. Oh, skippable. Can we be serious? Team Plaza was up to no good again, so Sharon and I teamed up to stop them. Mostly because he can't accomplish anything on his own. Is this whole video just gonna be me trashing on Sharon? Yes it is. Let's talk Clay. From the lackeys in the gym, I found out he was a ground-type gym leader. And given the encounters we've had so far, I was pretty confident his roster would be Crocodile, Excadrill, and Seismitoad since those are the only ground types I saw in the gym. I didn't have any good answers here besides Frogger and Diddy, so I mostly just thought Mons I thought could get some decent value and maybe end up as sacks if needed. As it would turn out though, that was really disrespectful. Diddy leads into Croc, taking him out instantly with a Seed Bomb. Excadrill enters the fight, and he wants blood. I didn't trust Diddy enough to get the job done, so I leech seeded and prepped for a swap. But that meant I gave Excadrill too much breathing room, and he boosted with Hone Claws. I fire a Seed Bomb and it nearly one-shots? This monkey is better than I give him credit for. Despite me being speed dropped and him being boosted, the small damage that came from his Bulldoze gave me confidence to stay in. That's not Bulldoze. But I got lucky. Diddy clutched up, dodging the crit as Bugs picks up the final KO. Another gym deathless, but in my books, undeserved. Forgetting that the AI prioritizes speed control over actual damaging moves is such a rookie mistake. Mistakes like that prove I still have much room to grow. Clay leads us to Chargestone Cave, where he stands in front of me yet again. This time, I'm thankful for it. It's a reminder that I need to not get complacent, a reminder that I need to be better. Chargestone Cave gives us a Ferroseed. I'm not sure the odds, but I know Ferrothorn is a goated encounter. Welcome Groot. N shows his face at the end of the cave, but as Porky shreds through his team, I know he's just toying with me. He refuses to take me seriously because I haven't proved that I'm worthy. Just outside the cave, we meet Professor Juniper's dad and Skyla. Head for Celestial Tower, she says. Route 7 nets us the Deerling who I named Bambi's mom. Oh my, what subtle foreshadowing do we have here? On my way towards the tower, I ran into an optional battle in my greed of getting an item. No worries, this will be quick, and I just lost my Sigilif because I forgot there's permanent rain boosting Semaphore Scald. It would be so easy to chalk this up to a stupid mistake, but if it keeps happening over and over again, were they really just stupid mistakes? Or was it a true showcase of where my skills at currently? It's only fitting that all of this was to go to Celestial Tower, the burial ground for the deceased. As I lay my Sigilif to rest, I think of the others harmed by my recklessness. Lycon, Camellia, Sukaku, Zhongli. Maybe I wasn't ready to take on N. Maybe my revenge would never be obtained. Maybe. But that only left me with one choice. There's no time for a pity party. I need to get stronger. Skyla tells me atop the Celestial Tower is a bell. The ringing is used to soothe the spirits of Pokemon. The personality of the ringer is said to be reflected in the reverberations. I can only wonder what everyone felt as I thrust the bell, what my old comrades felt as I tried to apologize to them. Taking on Skyla's invitation, it was time to prove my resolve. Roadrunner leads, but with an untimely flinch from Heart Stamp and a bad play to use Ancient Power after the double Amnesia boost, he's forced to retreat. Perry knocks out the Swoobat, but Swanna threatens a KO, forcing another swap into Bugs, who also tanks a flinch. Wait, I have Heal Pulse. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, why did he heal the Swanna? No! I thought that was like recover. Well, it's bad. I have 3 injured Pokemon. Alright, problem? This is a hit, and both these have the chance to miss. But we ball. Big. Wait, that did nothing. It's a 2-turn setup move? Nah, dude, that was too free. The crit at the end for the BM? Dude, I was scared for the gym for nothing. Nah, Skyla is free. The happiness of the moment vanishes yet again as N confronts me outside, using his presence as a reminder. Lock in. Keep your eyes on the prize. Prove your worth. And what better way than to deal with the man sharing a similar goal? He's still a complete pushover. Maybe if I had a real rival, I wouldn't have been gapped by N. Alder showcases he has the strongest knees of any 50-year-old, and Sharon showcases why he's the most relatable character in the game. You're so salty about losing to me, you can't even take a compliment from the GOAT of Unova? Honestly, stay based, king. Much like Sharon, I have my own faults to overcome that make me weak. Voluntarily taking optional battles shows my arrogance precedes me, and this one is straight deadly. Throw gets off 3 bulk ups, all because I have Sawsbug as my lead. Now my only option to leave this fight without major casualties is a sack. Maybe this was a canon event for me naming him Bambi's mom. The terror of the maze had just begun. Another optional has Throw's twin at my throat, all in the name of his brother. Only this time, there was no good sack. My mind was so locked on rushing to N that I tricked myself into not returning to the PC. Both Frogger and Roadrunner risked a crit to take down the black belt. Both amazing partners that were inches from death, all because of my bad decision. From here on out, I'd have to take every single fight as seriously as I would against N. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be able to make it to him. I use this as a good opportunity to take a small break and start making my Pokemon a little bit stronger, doing things like teaching Porky Hammer Arm. When all is said and done, I show up to Bryson and I'm ready to rumble. Johnny Bravo flexes on Vanillish, prompting Bryson's ace to come in. I swap Porky in with a plan to sweep the gym, but an unexpected water-type brine from Beartic shows me that if I outspeed and don't KO, I can die to a brine crit. I pivot to Bugs to get some chip damage, who ends up going down so I can regain tempo. With how reliable Bugs has been this whole run, I'd be lying if I said that one didn't hurt. Scooby comes in for a retaliate, but Beartic just barely lives, forcing me to swap to avoid the confusion from his swaggers. Jerry decides he's the star of the show, rolling through both Beartic and Cryogonal on his own, netting us the 7th badge. Waiting for us just outside are N's minions. They want me to head to the Dragon Spiral Tower to confront N. It seems like a trap, but uttering N's name is a surefire way to pique my interest. As I approach the summit, I'm boxed off by 4 grunts. They're easy to manage, but they serve as not so meaningless distractions. I was too late to stop N's plan. He has the ability to control Zekrom. This whole time, he never considered me worthy of his true power. I won't stand for this embarrassment. I stormed to the 8th gym to prove I was worthy of climbing the Pokemon League, but Bianca stops me in my tracks. If I couldn't beat Bianca, I'd have no shot against N. It's a perfect battle to test my strength. Harry soaks in Intimidate, letting Johnny Bravo swap in and pick up an easy kill. Bianca sends out Musharna, basically giving Perry a free Moxie proc. Unfortunately, with Superior showing up, he can't stay in, so I pivot to Ferrothorn, using a Thunder Wave to slow down the Superior. Gyro connects and it doesn't do damage. The paralysis lowered his speed. I scramble to find an answer for the boosted Superior, but in the process, Johnny Bravo and Daffy both fall. I'm not out of the woods yet. Simipour comes in, and with rain-boosted Scald staring down my double Water Weak and chunked roster, it's not looking pretty. With only 4 Pokemon left, the deaths start to become more meaningful. Scooby, you've been carrying me since Route 1, but my misplay means you have to die for the greater good of the run. Paralysis! Return isn't enough to get the KO, but Scooby clutches up again, dodging a crit and proving to me he's been carrying me this whole time. I'm glad to have Scooby alive, but yet again, I'm saying goodbye to my troopers who didn't deserve such a fate. I've been making fun of him this whole time, but I'm much more like Sharon than I realized. At every single turn, I keep finding out I'm just not strong enough. My ego wasn't done taking hits either. An unexpected optional battle turned into a bloodbath as these 3 monkeys danced circles, wreaking havoc on my roster. Perry risked a crit, Jerry died to a crit, Scooby ate another crit, and in a last-ditch effort, Betty Boop was sacked so I can get Rufusson, who had to dodge a crit to save the entire run. I made it out alive. The best thing I can do is use this as a lesson for my biggest trial yet, the final gym badge. Dude, that mustache looks cool. What the hell is that? I don't think I even died to a crit. Dragon. Bro just set up twice to use a Dragon Rage. That is so troll. By synthesis? Alright, perfect. You got poisoned. Okay, we synthesis again. Big. Alright, Tom, I need you to pop off. Pop off, King! Banger! Oh, that's perfect. Alright, come on, Tom. 4! Wait, he lives? Oh, that's huge! And I get the intim? Wait, die. So clean! Tom lives with 4 HP. Nah, dude, that was clean. That was clean. I just went deathless on the hardest gym leader, a gym where I had virtually 0 checks to his team. All of the lessons I learned from the prior gyms were paying off. I'm finally worthy of challenging the Elite Four. As I walked through the doors representing each of the 8 badges, memories of each gym flooded my mind. The Trio badge, where my ego grew unchecked. The Basic badge, where that unchecked arrogance begun my downward spiral. The Insect badge, where I was left all but defeated. The Bolt badge, a legacy I couldn't reach, but those were memories of a past life. The Quake badge, where my oversight nearly cost a partner their life. The Jet badge, where I rang a prayer for those my failures had harmed. The Freeze badge, where the Pokemon I underestimated outshone everyone. The Legend badge, where I learned that at my best, even mighty dragons stand no chance. Pushing through the last door, the vibe completely shifts. I need no introduction to tell me that this is Victory Road. As I make my ascent, the constant reminders of the issues I still need to overcome rear their ugly head. Careless play causing near misses on one of my best carries. My lack of moveset knowledge putting Roadrunner on the brink of extinction. With fortune at my side, I push through it all. The end of the road greeting me with light. 5 trainers stand between me and everything I've been fighting for. To take on this last challenge, I need to be fully prepared. I pick up Bubblegum the Frillish off of Driftvale City's coast and train my Pokemon until they have enough EXP to level off 1 kill in the Elite Four. I don't know what Pokemon nor movesets the Elite Four have, but I've seen their typings from other people's playthroughs, giving me a rough idea of what I should bring. The newest addition to our roster, Bubblegum the Jellicent, a fun guy who hasn't had the opportunity to shine. Plankton, my strongest Pokemon throughout this whole run, Rufus, the stubborn bush that refuses to die, Groot, the partner that rode with me this whole time through my fiery ambition, Porky, and Perry the Crocodile. With the ability to challenge the Elite Four in any order, I decide to go from easiest to hardest. Since I have 3 weaknesses to fighting and 4 resistances to psychic, Caitlyn became my first target. Oh, she's in a nightgown. I feel like I just press crunch and it dies. But it looks kind of tanky. That is so oh my. Oh, oh. Oh, wait. No, this can't be this free. No way. No way I was scared for nothing. This thing just, I mean, I'm 2x right now. Like, no shot this thing just gets full swept, right? Dude, this is embarrassing. Wait, what? It's actually just full swept. Wait, what? Oh, that's so broken. Wait, what? Riding the high of destroying Caitlyn, I sent it straight into Chantal. I keep Perry pop off. Oh, dude, if that one shot, that would have been messed up. How much does this do? Ooh! I had to risk it. We didn't know Psychic? Fuck. I'm misplaying. It's dead, right? Dude, losing Porky is so bad. That was my check to the dark types. Fuck. I mean, Giga Drain is probably my only play. That's a non-crit? Dude, why does everything hurt so bad? Dude, I just lost Porky. That is not where you play the cheerful music game, and it shouldn't be. Once again, a sweeping victory caused my ego to spiral out of control. The same blunder that caused me to eventually lose to N just lost me my partner from the very beginning. My road to N was slowly closing in. As I enter the vampire's lair, I can only help but wonder, have I already sealed my own fate? Dude, what is that JoJo pose? Double crunch kits kill me if I don't Giga Drain and hit. Yo. No way. No, I called that. X is off. Goodbye. Big. I'm betting he does ground type here. Come on. Wait, what the fuck just happened to my game? What do I think he does here? Can I tank too? I can tank too. Okay. Oh, he's dead. This might be stupid, but I don't think Brick Break kills. If he has a Brick Break. I don't even know if he has Brick Break, but if he does, I don't think it kills. Out of every move in the universe, I was not expecting X Scissor. If I don't one-shot parry, he's dead. Good luck. Do it, parry. No. That doesn't one-shot? Not conserving Rufus's HP might only check to Bisharp. Letting Jerry tank a super effective move instead of pivoting to Bubblegum? Huge errors all on their own, but none as run-defining, as embarrassing, as voluntarily doing less damage by clicking a 2x effective move instead of a 4x one. Lady Luck smiled upon Jerry, and I punted him into the abyss anyway. Not only did I just lose my best Pokemon, I lost something arguably more important, my mental. The hardest Elite Four member for my team still remained, and I wasn't confident in my ability to win. I wasn't confident in my ability to reach him. I must go on. Bubblegum needs to clutch up big this fight. So I lead with Plankton to scout while keeping my fighting immunity healthy. A Stonage from Throw shows me one of his moves, and a Fire Toxic back, which was so unbelievably stupid. Throw has guts, something I learned 5 seconds later after watching Plankton avoid a crit to spare his life. Only then did I realize I have 2 large resistances I should be abusing at this point. A pivot to Rufus easily lets him soak up the damage, and I go back to Bubblegum. Bulldoze. I see the line. If I swap into Groot instead, I'll force a super effective fighting move, letting me PP stall Stone Edge and giving Bubblegum an easy kill and throw. Once I confirm Sock and Conkeldurr are both using Stone Edge, I deploy the same exact strategy. All of the Elite Four slain, each of their lights shining, opening a path forward. With only 4 Pokemon to my name, I march onward. In front of my eyes, Altar has been felled. N reigning with the title Champion of the Unova region. From beneath the ground, Team Plasma's castle erupts, piercing the sky. N turns to face me. But this time, there is no mockery in his eyes. Only pure, innocent confidence. N grants me one final team change, allowing for me to fight him at full strength. He's as curious as I to see which of our ideals stands stronger. N, the man whose goal it is to end the suffering of all exploited Pokemon by separating their ties. My vision isn't quite as grand. I'm much more like Sharon. The reality is, my only goal is to become stronger. And within my journey in the Unova region, I did just that. Through failure and loss, I became a better Pokemon trainer, a better Nuzlocker. I'm here standing up to N for the most selfish reason possible, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Reshiram materializes before me. I throw a Master Ball at it, not to catch it, but rather to throw it aside. If this fight wasn't won with those who made this journey possible, it meant nothing to me. Zekrom. N plans to end this fight as soon as possible. The Fusion Bolt aimed at Scooby gives me the confidence to send in Rufus. He dodges through Zekrom's attacks and topples the beast in a single hit. Clank comes in, but something's fishy. N wouldn't send this in just to fall in the same exact fashion. This has to be Zoroark. Lumiere comes out, and a Focus Blast confirms my suspicion. Groot comes in to tank the incoming Dark-type move, and I pivot back to Lumiere to tank the Focus Flamethrower. If I swap back to Ferrothorn, I can bait a Flamethrower, which frees up the way for Roadrunner as long as he dodges a burn. Vanillix enters the battle, and I only have one real play. Wait, Candle versus Ice Cream. Oh! Wait, does a fire move boil me out? What is that? Are you kidding me? I just sack. He's not going to do anything anyway. No. You are such a donkey. It's fine, it's fine. Do I have one shot with Brick Break here? Probably. Go! Wait, why is he faster? Panic sets in. In a hasty decision, I send Scooby out. I just sacrificed my Route 1 encounter for nothing. I finally identify the correct play as Ferrothorn knocks out the menace who just rolled through half my team. The real Kling stares at me. I slowly come to the realization I've run out of answers. I'm taking too much chip damage trying to find an opening. Suddenly, a Hyper Beam. An opportune moment to swap into Roadrunner and pivot into Rufus on the Thunderbolt. I take it, praying he has enough speed to KO. Unlike the fight before the 8th gym, Rufus wasn't able to save me this time. But I can't give up hope. I can't lose to him again. I have to win. As Kling Klang falls and Archeops appears. And out! If Roadrunner can outspeed and crit, I'm still in this. But fortune did not shine my way. I'm helpless to watch as N triumphs over me one last time. People react to failure in many different ways. Some people are able to brush it off, but in my case, I get very emotional. But the emotions I'm feeling right now have nothing to do with sadness, no. Right now, I'm feeling something else entirely. Determination. I made countless mistakes across my journey. I have no one to blame for my loss but myself. But if I quit every time I stumbled, I wouldn't be where I am today. In 2022, right after qualifying for Worlds, I was permanently banned. Had I given up then, I wouldn't have become a Pokemon World Champion a year later. And I will have my revenge. But this time, I'm upping the ante.